Spooky season is upon us, and that means it's time to check the shelves and see what kinds of spooky titles that we may want to read. And today,
we got 3 each.
3 each that we think are perfect for spooky season to share with you.
Yeah, let's get it.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome to our home. This is Good Books Lately, and today, instead of sharing what we're reading, what we've been reading, we are going to be sharing books from our bookshelves here at home.
Spooky books.
That we think are perfect for spooky season. We each have 3. We've not read these books, but they're ones that we pinned because of that.
Yeah, these are ones that we're saving for spooky season or when we feeling like we want to read a spooky read. Because October's coming up, and that's spooky month.
October is around the corner. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Some of these are a little bit less like immediately spooky, more witchy.
Yeah.
But hey, they're cozy.
They're spooky adjacent.
Spooky adjacent. You want to get us started?
Yeah, I'll start off with my first one, and that is Joe Hill's Horns.
Horns.
I don't know how to say horns without making it
That's
like
okay. You
14
added
syllables.
another syllable in there.
Last year for spooky season, I read Joe Hill's Nosferatu, which was spooky, and some would say maybe a Christmas story. Because it happens kind of with Christmas themes, but it was definitely a spooky book. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm interested in reading another one. I picked this one up at Goodwill. The New York Times bestselling author of Heart-Shaped Box returns with a relentless supernatural thriller that runs like hell on wheels. Marin Williams is dead, slaughtered under inexplicable circumstances, leaving her beloved boyfriend, Ignatius Parrish, as the only suspect. On the first anniversary of Marin's murder, Ig spends the night drunk and doing awful things. When he wakes the next morning, he has a thunderous hangover and horns growing from his temples. Ig possesses a terrible new power to go with his terrible new look. A macabre gift he intends to use to find the monster who killed his lover. Being good and praying for the best got him nowhere. Now it's time for revenge. It's time the devil had his due.
Okay, so this is the movie with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, this has been turned into a movie, which is cool. This is a floppy boy.
Yeah, it is
which
floppy.
Always is good with a paperback. It makes you feel, I don't know why, it just feels good. It's not stiff.
No, I know what you mean.
It does sound spooky. It sounds a little weird.
I mean, it's Joe Hill.
Creepy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Horns.
It's just horns.
Just horns.
Horns. Well, it says it's devilishly good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read this. Hopefully, I can get to it this year, this month.
Maybe.
I think I will. That's my first one.
Okay.
What about you?
I got one. All right. This first one is the book Poor Things by Aleister Gray. Now, this was made into a movie. You can see here, this is the movie cover with Emma Stone. Now, this is kind of like, I don't even know if I would say it's a feminist retelling. It's just a telling of Frankenstein as if Frankenstein's monster were a woman. Right? And it also has kind of, it says here, the New York Times Book Review, a booby-trapped version of Frankenstein.
Oh.
Interesting.
Whatever that means.
It says here that it is by an author named Aleister Gray. And what's really interesting about this is that when you open it up and you start reading it from the very first title fly page, it says Poor Things, episodes from the early life of Archibald McCandless, MD, Scottish Public Health Officer, edited by Aleister Gray. And so everything in between these pages is supposed to read as if it is only edited by this Aleister Gray, but it's actually a medical record.
So it's kind of like a, it's like a, I've seen,
it's like you're supposed, it makes you feel like what you're reading is a true story.
Right, kind of like where they're out.
Oh, Blair Witch Project. Yeah, I guess it is kind of like the Blair, okay, yeah, sure. That's kind of what this is supposed to be like in one form or another.
Yeah.
In the 1880s in Glasgow, Scotland, medical student Archibald McCandless finds himself enchanted with the intriguing creature known as Bella Baxter. Supposedly the product of the fiendish scientist Godwin Baxter, Bella was resurrected for the sole purpose of fulfilling the whims of her benefactor. As Archibald's desire turns to obsession, his motives to free Bella are revealed to be as selfish as those of Godwin, who claims her body and soul. But Bella has her own passions to pursue, passions that take her to aristocratic casinos, low-life Alexandria, and a Parisian bordello, reaching an interrupted climax in a Scottish church. Exploring her station as a woman in the shadow of the patriarchy, Bella knows it is up to her to free herself and to decide what meaning, if any, true love has in her life. Sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Also, just to let you guys know, our kids are playing right down the hall.
Yeah.
We are re-recording this entire episode because we had it entirely recorded and it got deleted. And so we are kind of in a tight spot. So you're going to hear occasional play happening down the hall.
Or not.
It's just it's just the way it is. But anyway, this is my pick. Poor Things.
Yeah, you had that you've been wanting that
last season.
Wanting to read it.
I've been wanting to read it. Yes, and I'm excited. Yeah, it has some really interesting looking kind of illustrations in there. And then I'll be really excited to watch the movie. Yeah.
Nice.
That's my first pick.
All
right, you're next.
My next one, I picked this up about a year ago too.
Yeah.
We were at the Writer's Block, an independent bookstore by us in
Here
town.
in Las Vegas.
It's Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. And I thought the cover was cool. It's this olive edition. I don't really know what that is.
Well, the olive editions all kind of have this...
the same spine, but they're horror books, like The Exorcist has one, and a few
they have
other
really interesting cover art.
So this one I picked up because I thought it was interesting, the creepy kind of ghosty vibes that also ties into something else, and you'll see what I mean when I read this. Chicago, 1954. When his father goes missing, 22-year-old Army veteran Atticus Turner embarks on a road trip to New England to find him, accompanied by his Uncle George, publisher of the Safe Negro Travel Guide, and his childhood friend Letitia. On their journey to the manor of Samuel Braithwaite, heir to the estate that owned one of Atticus's ancestors, they encounter both mundane terrors of white America and malevolent spirits that seem straight out of the weird tales George devours. Atticus discovers his father is in chains, held prisoner by a secret cabal, the Order of the Ancient Dawn, led by Braithwaite and his son Caleb, which has gathered to perform a ritual that shockingly centers on Atticus. And his one hope of salvation may be the seed of his and the whole Turner's clan's destruction. Chimerical?
Chimerical?
A chimerical blend of magic, power, hope, and freedom that stretches across time, touching diverse members of two black families. Lovecraft Country is a devastating kaleidoscope portrait of racism, the terrifying specter that still haunts us today. But I think it's going to be good. The one thing that I think has kept me from picking this up is look at this font.
I know, it's very small.
It's a very small font, and it's like close to 400 pages, and look how small that font is.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
So, I mean, and it's tight margin, so it's a long read.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read it.
You do remember that you're the same person that read Lonesome Dove, so I think you can handle it.
Oh, I think I can. It's just, you got to have the right mindset for that.
I hear you.
All right, what's your next one?
This next one is a little bit more on the witchy side, and I thought it was kind of interesting because you read Nyx.
Yeah.
The Nyx. Okay, well, this book is called The Book of Witching by C.J. Cook. This is 400 years. This is not what this is. I was just about to.
Not what it is.
400 years separate them. One book binds them. Okay. A mother must fight for her daughter's life in the fierce and haunting tale of witchcraft and revenge from the author of A Haunting in the Arctic. Clem gets a call that is every mother's worst nightmare. Her 19-year-old daughter, Erin, is unconscious in the hospital after a hiking trip with her friends on the remote Orkney Islands. The last time I read this, I had the same problem. It's like, it reads weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
We're going to take this from the top. Her 19-year-old daughter, Erin, is unconscious in the hospital after a hiking trip with her friends on the remote Orkney Islands met a horrifying end, leaving her boyfriend dead and her best friend missing. When Erin wakes, she doesn't recognize her mother and she doesn't answer to her name, but insists she is someone named Nyx. Clem travels to the site of her daughter's accident, determined to find out what happened to her. The answer may lie in a dark secret in the history of the Orkneys, a woman wrongly accused of witchcraft and murder 4 centuries ago. Clem begins to wonder whether Erin's strange behavior is a symptom of a broken mind or the effects of an ancient curse. So I have a feeling this is going to fringe on like Scandinavian Norse mythology. I feel like the Orkney Islands are in that region or something like that. But I don't know. Sounds interesting. Yeah, so it's a little witchy. It sounds like it's mysterious. Intense. It says C.J. Cook is a master of the feminist Gothic, so it might have a Gothic vibe. Hello, Gothic. It sounds fun, right? Spooky. So, Book of Witching by C.J. Cook. I'm kind of excited to get into this one. There's a quote here from A Treatise Against Witchcraft from 1590 by Henry Holland, and it says, this is all it says, "The more women, the more witches."
That's right. That's what I always say.
Damn well better believe it, I'll tell you what. All right, okay.
My last and final one, my number 3, I couldn't do a spooky book haul or book suggestions without Mr. Spook himself.
You got to get the Kingster involved.
Stephen King, and I went with Cujo.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, and look at how cool this cover is.
It's a fantastic cover.
It's amazing, very fierce, very spooky looking, but this is also a movie.
And it's all from a dog's perspective?
I think so.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah. But yeah, for those of you that don't know anything about Cujo and Stephen King's Cujo, Cujo used to be a big friendly dog, lovable and loyal to his trinity, the man, the woman, and the boy, and everyone around him, and always did his best to not be a bad dog.
Aww.
But that all ends on the day this nearly 200-pound Saint Bernard makes the mistake of chasing a rabbit into a hidden underground cave, setting off a tragic chain of events. Now, Cujo is no longer himself as he is slowly overcome by a growing sickness. one that consumes his mind, even as his once affable thoughts turn uncontrollably and inexorably.
In a what?
Inexorably.
In a what?
Inexorably.
Inexorably. Inexorably.
Inexorably.
Oh my gosh.
I can't say those words. Inexorably to hatred and murder. Cujo is about to become the center of a horrifying vortex that will inescapably draw in everyone around him. A relentless reign of terror, fury, and madness from which no one in Castle Rock will truly be safe.
I mean, this sounds intense. It sounds like a really intense story about a dog that gets rabies.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I think, kind of what it is, but it's a reign of terror on the town.
I know nothing about this book, but I would leave it to Stephen King to come up with a book about what goes on in the psychology, like in the mind of a dog who's developing rabies.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's somewhat all from the mind of the dog, but it also, I think, just flipping through it, I think there's other people, other perspectives. But I mean, this book, I think, was originally published in like the 70s.
I don't know what is going on in that room.
1981.
But I know that it's Legos.
They can probably barely hear it.
I hope you can barely hear it.
Yeah, this was originally published in 1981. So this is a classic. This is a classic kind of like spooky horror.
Are you saying that anything that was made in 1981 is a classic?
Like me.
Well, first of all, you were made in 1985.
The 80s, baby. All right, but no, Stephen King, Cujo, I haven't read it, want to read it, will read it.
Sounds good. All right, you ready for my next one and my last one?
The final and last one.
I've had this one for a while. I got this in Massachusetts when we were there.
In Salem, which makes it spooky already.
I mean, and plus it has a really cool spooky cover.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is called The Impusium by Olga Tokarczuk. A health resort horror story. And it's the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. And it just sounded really cool. It is. It says, September 1913, a young Pole suffering from tuberculosis arrives at Wilhelm Alpit's guest house for gentlemen in the village of Gorbesdorf, a health resort in the Silesian mountains. Every evening, the residents gather to imbibe the hallucinogenic local liqueur and debate the great issues of the day. Monarchy or democracy? Do devils exist? Are women born inferior? War or peace? Meanwhile, disturbing things are happening in the guest house and the surrounding hills. Someone, or something, seems to be watching, attempting to infiltrate this cloistered world. Little does the newcomer realize as he tries to unravel both the truths within himself and the mystery of their sinister forces beyond, that they have already chosen their next target. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds amazing. It sounds cool. It has a cool cover. It gets good reviews. It says, just as awe-inspiring as the Nobel judges claimed, sophisticated and ribald and brimming with folk wit. The comedy in this novel blends, as it does in life, with genuine tragedy.
Nice.
No, hold on, pause. That says praise for the Book of Jacob. Praise for Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead.
These are all her other books?
Hold on, folks. Listen. There's praise for this book. Probably inside. That's really what I was like kind of hoping for. But
I don't know.
She has, it says,
written a lot.
Praise for the Books of Jacob. Praise for Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead.
That sounds creepy.
A brilliant literary murder mystery.
Wow.
I need to find this book. Praise for Flights. A revelation in this risky, restlessly mercurial book. Tokarczuk has found a way of turning philosophy into writing that doesn't just take flight but soars. And no praise for this one. I mean, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And I'm interested. So that is called the Impusium.
Yeah, I mean, it won a Nobel Prize.
Oh, I know. Yes, absolutely.
Literature.
I don't know if that really, I don't know what that means in terms of how I'm going to take it, but I think it sounds very intriguing. And I'm all for it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it has a really interesting, if you go to the next, it has...
Oh, yeah.
What is this? It says, every day things happen in the world that can't be explained by any law of things we know. Every day they're mentioned and forgotten, and the same mystery that brought them takes them away, transforming their secret into oblivion. Such is the law by which things that can't be explained must be forgotten. The visible world goes on as usual in the broad daylight. Otherness watches us from the shadows, which is Fernando Pessoa from the Book of Disquiet, translated by Richard Zena. And it has like characters, it gives characters, almost like show that part, almost like the beginning of a play. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it just sounds interesting.
Really cool. Yeah. Well,
and that's it.
And if you're into spooky season and you want another book to read, head over to our Patreon, because in October, spooky books was the topic genre, and we've completed a poll for it. You can see what that is if you join up.
And we landed on a book?
Yeah, we landed on a book. It was down to 3.
Right.
Frankenstein.
The September House.
The September House and Something Wicked This Way Comes, which it's kind of all over the YouTube, BookTube world right now.
I didn't realize that it was, but it's
that's
by
okay.
Ray Bradbury. And yeah, Something Wicked This Way Comes is the book that is going to be the Good Books Lately book for October, which is a spooky book.
Yeah.
So go check it out if you want to get involved in some book clubs. We do at least once a month Google Meets where we hang out and chat about what we're reading and all manner of other things. And it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's it. That's it. So we hope you guys enjoyed this.
Give it a thumbs up.
Yeah. Let us know what spooky books you're reading this season.
Also comment. What are we getting ourselves into with these books if you've read them?
Which one of these of the 3 for each of us should we read first?
Right.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.